Hello and welcome back to Bluebird Lane Creations. My name is Tiffany and it's time to get creative. I want to welcome everyone back to my channel and welcome a few new people. Jacqueline Jones, Janine Manson, and Susan Bowling. Welcome. And I thank everyone who is returning as well. I'm so glad that my channel has been blessed with growth and that everybody is coming back and checking things out. Janine Manson actually left a comment on one of my videos that she would like to see more pockets, and this is going to hopefully satisfy that request. So I am also participating in a challenge for the Facebook group Tatty Treasure and Friends. And the challenge is to get it out and dust it off. So this is it's a February to March challenge. So it goes February, the 7th of February to March 5th. And 4 projects. Each week, the host, Denise, from Denise Junk Journals UK, will post in the Facebook group. You just add your project to that week. It doesn't matter if you do them all in one week. Just make sure you add it to each week. It could be a photo or a video. And then you will be entered into the drawing on, the giveaway will be Monday, March 7th. And that'll be done by Tania from Tatty Treasures on YouTube. And also announced in the group. Now it can be, in my case, I'm using an old paper pack that I have been hoarding because I think it's so beautiful. I just can't, I hoard it so long because I don't know what project I want to use it on. And it could be stencils, your punches, your die cuts, anything that you've been kind of tucked aside, forgot about, dig to the bottom of the drawers and back of the cupboards, and get it out and dust it off. So what I have planned today is kind of a double pocket fold out. I'm going to show you the papers and then we'll just jump right into our project. This is going to be a pretty quick one that can be repeated easily. So this first here is just a little punch out papers. These things just punch out of here and can be used to decorate your pockets. So we might use some of those. But look at this beautiful paper by Authentique. This one is called Poised One. And you'll see, this is a great one to demonstrate. Just a gal looking in her mirror. This one, she's got her scarf blowing in the wind. Things like be your own kind of beautiful, whatever. I'm still fabulous. Perfectly imperfect. That's probably my mantra right there. But these papers, I love this yellow. I love the vintage feel. They're double-sided. So let me just do a little, let's see if I can do just a small little flip through here. We won't go through every paper. But just some really beautiful patterns and bright yellows, perfect for spring. Definitely has the vintage feel. I think most Authentique papers, I haven't seen one that doesn't have a vintage feel, to be honest. Beautiful. Everything coordinates with the other pages. I mean, you really can't go wrong with matching stuff up. Isn't this cute? These little hat mannequins. Just love it. This one also has like a little dress form on it. So some of these, they're big like for scrapbook paper, but you can really use them and cut them down for anything. So we're going to do that today. I'm actually going to cut out a few of these little gals. Well, let's see here. Let me show you what we're doing first and then we'll get to the cutting. I found a slew of envelopes at a estate sale, and so I thought I might as well make pockets out of this. So I'm taking 2 envelopes. I'm going to cut the flap on one down to just a small hinge, and then I'm going to attach the other one to that envelope. I'm going to cut the top off and essentially make a double pocket that will fold onto our project like that. Let me just show you how I'm going to do that. Now, I will be doing a little bit of gluing along the way, and I'll try to explain what I'm working towards here. Now, the first thing, both of my flaps are going to point the same direction, okay? So that's something to pay attention to, because I want to make sure that this is the top I cut off and this. Now, something you could do, if you've got a little marker or something, you can just grab, I've just grabbed whatever was closest to me, and I'm just going to mark those tops. This is what I need to take off, okay? So that's helpful. So I know when I go to cut that that's the end that I want to open up. Now I also am going to turn this and cut this flap. This is just going to end up being my hinge. So there's my fold. I'm going to back it up probably about 1/4 of an inch and just get that. Just make sure here. Yeah, probably a little over 1/4 of an inch, and just get the bigger portion of that cut off. See, I still have this little hinge right here that will glue down to my paper and allow this pocket to function. So I did want to keep that. And the next part, I'm going to do a little, let me go ahead and cut these tops off. So we've got our top there that we want to cut, and I'm just going to cut a little tiny bit. So I'm going to cut that down to 5 inches. All right, a little bit, because it's going through a few layers there, and there's our colored end. I'll put that in there, and I'm going to cut that one down to 5 inches so that these are the same. All right. So we've got this hinge that's going to attach to the paper. Now you'll see these are no longer attached right there. And I'm going to show you how to take care of that. And this one is going to glue down to the back side of that. So first, I want to just go ahead and tack my little corner that's on the loose. I'm going to show you how the rest of this is going to work out in just a minute. So I'm just attaching that corner just so it's not jumping all over the place. I don't want a lot of glue because I don't want it all over. Just tacking it down for now. We still want the pocket to function, so just get a little bit in that upper corner. Now this is going to attach behind this one. So I'm going to go ahead, in order for me to flatten it out, I just fold it the wrong direction. I'm going to go ahead and put my glue up to the fold, but not over. So just up to this fold, get a little bit away just so when it presses that it doesn't go over that. You can always get, use your finger to get the excess off, but best if we try not to get it out the other side. All right, and then I'm going to lay this down right where I want it. Let's see. You only have just a little bit of time with art glitter glue to maneuver that and make sure that it still folds. So just making sure everything folds really well. If you have your bone folder, see I'm getting my glue all over here, you can just make sure to crease that really good. Let the glue grab there. So we have that. Now I'm going to put my pin in here because my next step I'm going to do is I want to go ahead and ink my edges. I'm going to be using my vintage photo, and I did just put a new pad on my blending tool here. So I'm just going to go ahead and get oh, this is really dark. Okay, we're just going to make it work. I did grab, oh yeah, I just want to make sure it wasn't my walnut stain, but it's my vintage photo, and I'm just getting those edges. And I'm going to go all the way around. Our paper is pretty much going to fill this, but since this is so wide, I did want to get that done before we get started. Now on my hinge here, that's going to be visible. So what I'm going to do is just take a small piece of paper, and this is a blending tool, and you can blend just by doing small little circles And I'm just going to get this whole flap covered. Now I can fold it back and get that crease, that fold score line just a little bit extra there. And then I want to go ahead and get this one too. Just fold that open, get that. Just kind of hit both sides. Just want to make sure that wherever my paper is not covering, that it has, a little distressing to it. And we'll kind of do the same on this side as well. Just ink around all those edges. I hope everybody's doing well today. I was planning earlier this week, and I'm just telling you, this week was kind of rough and it got away from me, but I am going to be having a giveaway this weekend. It's going to, let's see, today's Friday. It's going to be up tomorrow, and this giveaway will be open international. I hit 800 subscribers, and I meant to do a giveaway at 500, and it's just, the channel has grown so fast, and please don't take that as any sort of complaint. I am overjoyed and thankful, but I really wanted my next giveaway to include everybody, and be able to open that internationally. So in order for me to do that, I had to work out a few things with one of my friends, and I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. So if you're not a subscriber and you'd love to hear more about that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that bell, to be notified. And tomorrow when that goes up, you will see it. I'd also appreciate, if you're enjoying the video, that you give me a little like and maybe comment and tell me what your favorite paper pack is, because there are some that I would buy over and over, and then then I also have the ones where I walk in the store and it's my new favorite, but they're all my new favorites. So there's the true favorites, and anyway, you guys know how it goes. So I am going to, now that these are inked all around, I'm going to come in here and cut out a couple images that I would like to have. I'm just going to cut these along the lines here, and then we're going to trim these out with the trimmer just to be a little more precise. So I know that I have, my cut lines are probably not straight, but these outer ones are. So I'm just going to kind of pay attention to the straight edge, and we'll use that one against the sides first. All right. These are such pretty images. Just lovely. Lovely. Okay. Now I need two papers that are going to complement what we're doing here. I think I'm going to also use a bit of this, so I'm going to cut this out. I don't know how much, so I'm going to give myself plenty of room. And what's on the reverse side? Ooh, yeah, let's use that too. Okay, let me make sure it's not, I don't want my other image there, but let me just see what I can do about this. And we'll go this way. All right. Let's trim these up a bit. So now my envelopes, when I measured, were 3 5/8 by 5 1/8. So, but I trimmed the 5 1/8 down to 5. So I would like this to be about 1/8 of an inch shorter. And I'm going to just come in here, decide where I want the top to be. Wait, let me think here. Her straight edge is this way. So I'm going, because I knew that she was at the bottom of the paper, let me think here. So I'm going to be going about 3 1/2. she's got to go about 5 7/8. So we're going to have to trim off of the bottom because we want her head in there. We don't want a headless lady. All right, so I think that's going to be our image for that one. I'm just going to double check that this looks right before I trim all of them, and that's looking pretty good. Okay, good. So let's do that with this. This is the bottom corner and the straight edge here. So we'll trim this in just a little. Then we'll trim, let me think here, trim where we want our top to be. We're going to go 3 1/2. And then we're going to have to trim this up to 4 7/8. So we won't see the very bottom, but we'll see most of the dress form, enough to where we know what it is. So that's one. This one we don't have an image to worry about, so let's see, this is definitely a straight edge here, so we will start with that. I'm going to go a little bit over 5 so we can trim down because that other edge is not straight. So 3 1/2. And then we'll go back here to 4 7/8. And our last one, and I will keep all these little scraps on this. Okay, let me think. She was in the bottom right corner, so this is a straight edge. So we're going to have to trim off some of the mirror, but I'm hoping to keep some of it as well. So let's see. Now that we got a straight edge there, let's figure out what the top of I want her dress. So I'm going to go about right here. Let's see where 3 1/2 looks like. How much? Oh, we're not going to lose much at all. Awesome. That'll work out fantastic. And we're not even going to lose very much of her dress either. Yes. Perfect. Okay. Let me put this aside. Let me get rid of a bit of my scraps and stack them up over on my papers. I am going to bring out my distress ink, and I'm probably not going to, see, I don't want this to be too dark, so let me just pick up a little ink and we'll just get the edges and the corners. Just kind of making sure we just don't have any, we don't want that white core showing. We want a good transition to our envelope edges, which we used this vintage photo. This is the distress ink, and we'll go around all of these. Now on this one there wasn't, there's just a little bit, mostly black, but filling in the edge there. On the yellow side you're going to see it a bit more. Alright, and these you'll definitely see. Hoping this weekend to catch up on a bit of filming. I've been down to the wire, which has not been working out well for me. Just really tired. I've been having some technical difficulties with PCs and Apple products, and anybody that films knows is hearing my plight right now. It's just sometimes makes you want to throw your hands up in the air. But you've come too far to go back, so you try to stay up and figure it out, and then you're tired and cranky. So I have a 3-day weekend because of President's Day on Monday, and I have added to that Tuesday and Wednesday off. So I am taking a 5-day weekend to clean house. I'm going to switch my decor from Valentine's to St. Patrick's. Yes, I'm one of those people that decorate for each holiday, not overboard, just lightly decorating. Except for Christmas. Christmas I kind of go overboard. I had to pare down my totes. And so I'm going to decorate. I'm going to film ahead. I'm going to get some things organized in my craft room, do all of those things. So we know our envelopes are going to hinge here, and I hate this little I don't know what this was, like a piece of glue or something weird right there. And it doesn't want to pick up ink, so we're just going to leave it. It looks like a torn edge. Anyway, I think, let me think here. I think I want, so we want our like special lady getting dressed in here maybe. Oh, not that one. Let's see. We'll have this. We'll do this. And on the front, our confident lady. Okay. So let me put those two up there and we'll glue these two down. Now, here's the trick. When you're gluing onto these two, when you have the open spot right here, your edge is going to, we're going to glue this like this. And when I glue this on, I don't want to put glue all over this. I'm going to put glue here first, then I'm going to go around all of my edges here. So you'll kind of see what I mean here. And our glitter glue dries quick, so I am going to move quickly, but you'll get the hang of it because we're going to do another one on the other side. So I'm going to, obviously, I'm going to go here and here. And I'm just doing this really lightly because I don't want this to seep out at all. Now I'm going to get all in here, but I'm not going all the way to the edge. Number one, my thing's not going to go to the edge. Number two, I'm going to do the edges of my cutout, which will seal that one edge off. Let's see, get this all on here. But there won't be glue right there, and that's what's important. So let's get her stuck down right like that. And we're going to make sure that this edge gets sealed good. And what will happen, hopefully, this will stay open all the way across. See how that worked? We're going to do the same thing here, so let's do that again. So I'm going to cover this all with the glue, not all the way to the edge, because this is short of the edge, I don't want glue all the way to the edge and not have card to cover that. So I'm getting glue on most of this except for this. Then I'm doing the edge here and sticking that down. That's going to seal here for my pocket, but it'll leave this without glue, because if I were to glue that to here, then my pocket would only go this much. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, let me just start this process again. And we'll get the edge of this. All right. Position that and press it down. Make sure we got a real good seal over here. This is the part that's going to seal that pocket shut. Checking all my other edges. Making sure we can fold over. And then I'm going to use my bone folder and just check my pocket. And if for some reason you got a little, you can always kind of work it back open. And that is that. Now, this paper goes here, and this one goes here. So now these, we don't have a pocket to worry about. These are the solid sides, so you can just glue your cardstock as normal. It doesn't have to be cardstock, your paper, which pattern paper, cut aparts, whatever you're using. And truly, I mean, this could be a scrap buster. You can totally put your scraps together on a piece of like copier paper and then cut those down to fit on here. You'd get a really cool background to to put down on here, and then you can decorate those pages. That's definitely a a good scrap buster project. And you can, I mean, you can even put little pockets on the front of here, which we might do one, just to add one more layer, like we are gonna need it. But you know, we don't want these to be too bulky. They are going in our junk journals. We don't want gator mouth. I mean, you might be using it for another project or a folio or something where it doesn't matter if you, you know, have a little bit of thickness to it. But I know for the most part, these are something that we might be putting in our junk journals. So let me put my pin in there. And let's see how this is looking. So this edge right here gets glued down to your page. Let me find some. Where's the book? Let me see if we can find. I bought at my estate sale today, I bought this little journal. It's cork for $2. So we'll just use this. Okay, so here's my journal. We're going to glue this down, right, just on that one seam. And then you have a fold-out pocket. So it folds up like that and out. And you've got all these little images. Now, something that we could do is come in, let's see, do we have, like, you could put a little pocket on the bottom. I want to find a different, let's see what we have here. Let's see, these were, I'm trying to think, these were 3.5. So let me get a straight edge on this first, so my words are lined up. So let's see, we've got, they were at 3.5, so if we do that, and then, let's see, we'll do about there. So there's an option to, you know, add a little pocket to that. Let's get our ink around these edges. I am going to put some thumb notches in here as well, so we can do that. Just make sure my words are upright. I'm notorious for gluing things on upside down. My glue is getting clogged. Gluing things on upside down, wrong side, gluing some. I had worked on a project. Actually, I worked on filming this project just a few minutes back, and I ended up gluing my envelopes shut. That's why I stressed, you know, a better way to do that would be to really pay attention to the directions, the direction of the flaps and such. So I'm just lining this up with that piece of paper. Now, if I was thinking, I could have done a little thumb notch there. I bet I could get that little thumb notch in there. That's what happens when I talk and craft. But let's see, let's put a little notch here. I'm just kind of gauging where the center is. Get that. My glue is still a little soft here, so probably should, you know, wait till, let's see, I want to line that up this way. So I'm just gonna make sure I'm all lined up there. Get a good position and go through that, so that lines up when we, you know, close it up that way. Then, yeah, I don't think I'm going to get to that one. That's okay. You know, I would have liked a little thumb notch there, but it's not necessary. And then what else do we have? Let's see. Let's go back to that first little page I had with these. I mean, if you have, you know, fun little things like this, definitely use them. So, I mean, Valentine's Day just passed. Let's see if we can get one of these little hearts out. I'm going to ink up the edges of the heart just to take some of that white down, a few tones. Let's see, what else do we have here? Take this Be Your Own Kind of Beautiful. It's got kind of a cool edging there. Just get that distressed up a bit. Let's see. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, let's glue this down. I'm not going to worry about gluing those little tear off, you know, like it was torn out of a spiral bound notebook or something, because those coming up over time, like kind of, you know, flinging upwards, will give it a little bit more texture. This heart's going to be on the bottom of that anyway. Get this guy glued on. These are, I'm doing this very flat because we do want this to be able to fold closed, so I don't want this bulky at all. So, you know, we want this to be able to close still and close that way as well. We might be able to, let's see what else we have in here. Oh, I like this. Let's, lovely inside and out, just like our project. Just kidding. I mean, it is, but kidding, not kidding. Yeah. Now, if you have little tear outs like this and you don't want these little nubs, you can always trim them off. You just have to be careful. They don't bother me that much, but some of them do. Some of them are more noticeable than others. So just gonna get that inked up so it matches the rest of our project and has that white core covered. And then I think one more thing I have to my side, some little, these things get all over the place, but I love working with feathers. I usually buy these at the craft store. You can also get feather boas from the Dollar Tree. And then I just lay them under, and it just gives it, like, the elevation is phenomenal. So I think I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because I do have that feather there, and I'm going to get it all over this. And the feather will just stick under here. We'll just tack a little under where that feather is. And then we'll stick this down right there. Oh, I already got feather in my glue. See, the feathers get everywhere, I'm just telling you. But, I mean, it's so pretty. All right, so we're wrapping this up. Let me get my pin and my glue before I leave it here overnight and regret it immediately in the morning. Okay. So we now have a beautiful, this lays flat. Look at how flat that is. Let me show you from the side. Look. And it's even got stuff in it. And let's just pretend, what do I have over here that'll fit in our pockets? Let's put something in. These are not matching because we didn't create matching ones yet, but we have, this one's a little tight for that pocket, but we've got that, and we've got this pocket as well. Okay, so let's pretend. This is gluing down into our book, and it folds like that. So you've got your beautiful piece here. You've got attached to your book. You open your page, flip this out. Oh, that's beautiful. Flip it out. Oh, look, such surprise. And then there's even room there. You could put another little couple things in. And it's pretty flat. Like, it doesn't take up a lot of room at all. So just something fun. Decorate it up, make it your own. You know, definitely work to make it match your projects, and I'll definitely try to make something to go in this and decorate this just a tad more, but I did want to show you the feathers. I use feathers as much as I can. I love feathers. I love eyelash trim, lace. I mean, obviously we use lace all the time, but feathers brings a really pretty element. They do get all over the place when you're working, so be prepared. All right, you guys. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, or this morning. This is Friday morning. I'm filming the night before, which is why I said tonight, and it's late because I messed up my first project. But join me tomorrow for that giveaway. I'd love to see a lot of you guys participate in that. And like I said, this one's going to be international, so it's for everybody. Yay. And I look forward to getting to talk to everybody. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you.